The economy is doing unbelievably from the standpoint of Wall Street. We just set another record, as you know. It's 80 times where we're the best market in history. And that's good for 401ks, and it's good for a lot of things, but it's great for 401ks and jobs. I always say it's great for 401ks and jobs. So we hit number 80 record. So 80 days out of a short 1.5 years, we have a record stock market. 401ks have set a new record.
Well, that was President Trump earlier today at Joint Base Andrews, highlighting the strength of the economy and the booming stock market. For more on this, let's bring in David Bahnsen. He is founder and managing partner of the Bahnsen Group. David, good to see you. Thanks for being here. So investments in CapEx obviously are up. Inflation is slowing, but not enough for people to feel it. I mean, when they're asked questions about the economy, they're not too happy. And we have this $1.8 trillion deficit just for 10 months of the fiscal year. What's your take on what's going on here?
You know, David, it's one of the hardest things about talking about the economy a lot from the vantage point of markets and what I do for a living, investing capital, when everyone wants to talk about it month by month with a headline and the political ramifications. Because the $1.8 trillion deficit that you bring up is what I care about. The $40 trillion of national debt is what I care about for years and decades. Getting a good number one month and a bad number the next month to allow people to go either cheerlead or bash on the economy, that's political. It doesn't matter that much to me. I care about $1.8 trillion of deficit in what has basically been, you know, a good economy. The Keynesians say, let's run deficits up in a bad economy. We don't have an equilibrium if you went into a bad economy to go run deficits higher. You can't be in a non-recessionary and what's been mostly peacetime and run these kind of deficits. And we've been doing them for years.
Let me drill down a little. Of course, part of the deficit was because they had to pay back some of the tariffs. $33 billion was paid back. Companies, Apple got $2.2 billion, Nike got $986 million, FedEx got $800 million, it goes on. But Medicare expenses were way up from $103 billion in June to $174 billion in July. Why is that?
Well, because there's these annual escalations. So our healthcare costs grow so much that then Medicare ends up having automatic increases. Same is true with the CPI increase to Social Security every year. That's statutory. There's not much you can do about it. Congress has legislated big increases in a lot of this stuff. On the Medicaid side, they did a good job with President Trump's Big Beautiful Bill Act, limiting the growth of some of the Medicaid growth. And then all the left came out and said he was cutting it. Right. They were cutting the growth of it. But as you see, it's still going higher. I want to say something real quick on the $30 billion of tariff refunds. Yeah. That's going to help the deficit over time.
How so?
Because that money goes back to Federal Express, back to Apple, back to small businesses to put into the economy.
Very good point. The question also, though, is why isn't the work that they're doing on cutting the government, the size of the government? We just saw in the last jobs number. We actually had a positive jobs number if you excluded the government jobs. We lost 54,000 government jobs that last month, and it's been going down quite a bit. And there's also, you mentioned Medicaid. There's the exposure of Medicaid fraud, which is, I think, a very positive effect by this government, by what they're all doing, Dr. Oz and the rest of them, exposing it and pulling back some of those ridiculous expenses that are fraudulent. Why hasn't that shown up in the figures, and when might it?
Well, I think it is showing up. It's just that there's other things offsetting it, that the spending growth is so large. So when you have cuts in personnel and cuts in headcount, then that's presumably less money you're spending one place. But if you're going and spending it in other places because Congress has allocated that money, it isn't cutting the total expenditures. It's just cutting what they're spending it on. Less headcount, but there's still that level of government spending. You have to address entitlements, David. You have to address that we have mandatory growth of spending that is out of control. It's not happening.
Well, the good news, and there not only is the market good news and the fact there's a lot of CapEx, companies are coming here and spending their money and building things that are going to require workers to fill those factories, but also we're having a supply side effect on the revenue. The revenue has been increasing despite the fact that tremendous, not in corporate revenue because they had all the tax breaks that they could deduct immediately because of the big, beautiful bill. That's come down a little bit, but it's offset by a big increase, 139 billion extra dollars in receipts overall. So it is showing a supply side effect, these tax rate cuts.
Yeah, I think that most of that was capital gain revenue. And the capital gain revenue is what you expect when you have a stock market like we had last year and the year before. You get more realized gains. I actually think the CapEx story is wonderful this year, but the problem is it's 100% AI related. And as a supply sider to my very DNA, I expect to see more CapEx activity even outside of AI. Yeah. That would be very beneficial.
By the way, just so you know, the individual income tax revenue has increased $161 billion.
And capital gain...
That's a pretty big... That's a 7% increase.
Capital gain revenue was up $200 billion.
The problem is overall, the receipts are up 3% and outlays are up 4%. It's very simple math.
You can't grow revenue less than you're growing expenses and do anything about the debt. That's math, right?
Positive or negative on the future going into the elections?
The 4-month future, I'm very agnostic because you have a push-pull. It's been my theme all year. There's some good things here. I'm not going to call it the greatest economy ever, but there's some good shoots. And then there's some difficult things that we just can't get out of our own way. They're kind of offsetting. And so those calling for a recession, they're not going to get one. But no, I mean, there's challenges in the economy, so I'm in that kind of lukewarm middle.
Good stuff. David Bahnsen, great to see you. Thank you.